This is a story time about being cheated on. This will be the shortened version, but So I was dating this kid for like 2 years, and he started working at this grilled cheese place, and it closed at like 6 or 7 o'clock. I would go to his house, to like wait for him so we can hang out when he gets out. And he started not coming home until like 11 or 12, saying, oh, we have to clean the grills, blah, blah, blah. So I started to become a little suspicious, and the crazy bitch came out of me. So I started looking through his closet. I ended up finding 3 unopened condoms. I decided not to say anything about it and see, if 3 turns into 2 and 2 turns into 1. And guess what? It did. Like for part 2, because we're running out of time here. Part 2 of how I found out I was being cheated on. Just so you guys get a full understanding, I confronted him when there was only 1 condom left. So as far as he knew, I only had found the 1, but I really found 3 and saw them gradually turn into 1. So obviously, like, a cheater isn't going to admit that they've cheated on you. So he told me that it was his friend that lived with him at the time. Now, his friend didn't live in his room or his closet. He lived in his own room in the house. So I decided to text his friend. And I set his ass up, like for part 3. Part 3 of how I found out I was being cheated on. So I ended up texting his friend. And I texted his friend in front of him, but without him knowing, so they couldn't plot anything. I texted his friend and I said, are those 3 condoms that were in his closet yours? Pause. Make sure that you guys remember I said to his friend 3 and not 1. His friend said back to me, yes, those are mine. So I said, all 3? And he said, yes, Mia, all 3 are mine. I said, okay, let me get this straight. You left 3 unopened condoms in his closet and they're still there. He said yes. And there was only 1 in his closet at that time. So as you can see, I caught him in the act. But I'm sure all of you guys can relate to this. I was stupid, I was young, I was in love, so I stayed with him. But this event is what caused me to dig a little deeper. I ended up making one of my old friends add him on Snap and start to flirt with him, like for part 4. Part 4 of finding out that I was being cheated on. So before I was dating my ex, I was friends with this girl, and we had like a really bad fallout, so we stopped being friends, and he knew about that. But we had recently made up, and I never told him about it. And before me and him started dating, he thought she was cute. So I saw this as a perfect opportunity to set him up. So I told the girl about what happened with the condoms, and she agreed with me that that was sus. So I told her to add him on Snapchat and start like flirting with him and see if he would, reciprocate. And long story short, he did. So I decided to take it to the next level and have her ask him to hang out in person. That week, I had asked him to hang out on the upcoming Saturday. And he told me no because he said that he needed to stay late after work again to clean those grills. Because grills just get so dirty. So I had my friend ask him if he can hang out that same Saturday. And he said yes. So I waited for that Saturday to come and like for part 5. Part 5 of how I found out I was being cheated on. So before that Saturday, I had typed out a really long paragraph to send to him if he was really serious about hanging out with her that Saturday. So Saturday comes around and I had her ask him for his address. He sent the address and said come through. So the girl took a screenshot of the chat on Snapchat, sent it to me, and I sent it to him with the long paragraph. So I broke up with him. We were broken up for about 2 months. And then we started talking again after 2 months. I know, I'm a dumb bitch. What can I say? And now here comes in my ex-best friend. While all of this happened and was happening, I was best friends with this girl. I didn't bring her up yet in any of the other story times because it wasn't really relevant until this one. And also, I need to mention that my ex was best friends with his manager. That's how he got the job. So one day I'm hanging out with my ex-best friend, and I got a FaceTime call from his manager. Part 6 of how I found out I was being cheated on. So me and my ex-best friend were chilling in her bed, and I suddenly get a FaceTime call from his manager, who was also his friend. He said, yo, Mia, you're hanging out with your ex again? And I was like, yeah, why? And then my ex-best friend started bugging out, saying, Mia, hang up on him. He's trying to flirt with you. Like, leave her alone. You're so annoying, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, I didn't find that suspicious because he did flirt with me a lot. But obviously, I ignored it because I was loyal to my ex. So then his manager said, oh, wait, you're with her? And she was like, shut up, Mia. Oh, my God, hang up on him. So I hung up on him, but I was curious why he called me. So after I got back from my ex-best friend's house, I decided to call him back. So I called him, and the first thing he asked me is like, oh, are you getting back together with him, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know yet. And he was like, Mia, what I'm going to tell you is going to break your heart. The person he's been cheating on you with is your best friend. This is part 7 of finding out that I was being cheated on. So at first I was in denial that my ex had been cheating on me with my ex-best friend. I was like, listen, I'm going to need some proof. Since my ex's manager was also his friend, his manager didn't want him finding out that he's the one who told me. So he said he had to show me the proof in person. He asked me if I wanted him to pick me up so he could show me the proof. And that wasn't weird because like we all used to hang out. I was cool with him too. So he picked me up and we went to Fridays. So first he started by telling me about how he would buy my ex condoms and that he would take my ex to my ex-best friend's house after work. And it all started coming together because I used to text his manager saying, oh, are you guys almost done cleaning the grills? And his manager used to vouch for him. Then he showed me a video on his Snapchat of my ex-best friend sitting on my ex's lap in the back of his car. And there were more videos, but at the time it was too painful for me to watch.